so welcome. We are going to be talking about the mini project, Rock, Paper, Scissors, Lizard, Spock, and we are going to be talking about the first mini project development process, which is building helper function, name to number. So I guess what I'll do is I'll clear this so we're not showing the name first. So let me just say very briefly that there are loads of comments on the discussion board on Coursera for the Rice University's introduction to Python under the student assessment piece, where people are rude and anal and sometimes cruel about things, and other people are nice, it's fine, but it's most of these comments are about when you're calling, you're importing math or random or whatever, and where you have to do it because it makes it more convenient for them, basically, and the comments in your code. So basically, you know, this comment is supposed to say, you know, this is what this does. Now, some people seem to want dissertations. Well, you can kiss my ass because I'm not giving you dissertations. Nor am I going to give you dissertations in these tiny lines of code that basically say I'm assigning a numeric value to rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock names. Okay? And I don't think anybody should have to do that. We're supposed to be assessing them based on this, not on this. Now, I am an IT project manager, so I understand that there is a need for comments in code. So when I go in and I look at what my guys are supposed to be writing, I know what they're writing, but I don't expect them to put 42 lines and explain every stinking thing that they're doing. And I don't think anybody here would expect that either. Single lines are fine. This one, I'm assigning the names, and then I have a last comment about validating the entry. And that is the extent of my comments. So I guess after that little bitch session, we should get started. So what we were asked to do was to define a function, so which is called name to number. So we start by typing in DEF, and then we name the function name underscore to underscore number, and we need to remember lots of things about this. Like it needs a colon, or it will error, and you have to put your parameter in. So parameter is name. That's very clear based on the instructions that were given, and the colon has to be inserted in order to be able to continue with your function. If you take that colon out, and I forget my colons all the time, you pull an error. It's a bad input. Error. It's not very descriptive, and you know, I guess it's just the way things work, but yeah, don't forget your colon, because nothing will work. I forget my colons here, and I forget them on my if and elifs and my else statements all the time. Right, so we have defined our function name, name to number, and I put my little comment in that says, okay, this is what below is doing. So we start off always with our if statement, and we say, if name is equal to rock, that means it is equal to rock. We are not saying that name is rock, we're saying it is equal to rock. Two different things. Two different things. Then we wanted to, our call of name to number in our test or in our program to return a 0, right? And then we move on to our elif statements, and we do the same thing for paper, scissors, lizard, and Spock. Okay? And we put our numbers in sequentially based on our instruction. And then I wrote a validating entry because I had a couple errors when I didn't put an entry in. So I put an elif statement in, not an else statement, and I said else if the name is not equal to, using the exclamation point equal sign, so that's not equal to. And if it's not equal to any of my definitions, then it's going to return this statement to you. Okay? Right. So, what did I run into trouble with? Well, obviously, like I said, I ran into the colon problem. I also ran into a missing parenthesis, which if I delete it, we're going to get an error, and it's going to say bad token. Okay, so the token being the name of equal to. So we put that back in, and that takes that error away. I also missed an equal sign, and if you play it, it's going to tell me bad input. I'm missing an equal sign. Okay, so we're going to put that back in, and that fixes that issue. Now, I did, in the beginning, instead of using return, I put in print. So if I say print, if name equals Rock, print 0, if I put that within the function, my function's not going to error, but it's going to give me an additional value based on the behavior of Python. So let's look at that. So that's where, if I say print, that's where this none is coming from. So it's printing the 0, but then it's telling me none. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I don't wholly understand why that happens yet, but I am working on finding out why it does work that way. Then I will get back to you if I ever find out. Anyway, at least I know not to do that. So let's rerun our test. And based on what we've entered, rock is 0, paper is 1, etc., etc. So if we look at this, it all corresponds with rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. And then we entered Howard, because that was our control data, right? So we wanted to validate the entry, and this was our controlling. And we said, try again. You're not crazy. Your mother had you tested. So clearly Sheldon answered that. Anyway, one other thing that I did want to say is I'm seeing a lot of questions on the forum about name to number, so the function itself. So we want, this function is name to number. And what we want to do is, based on user input, call the function, taking the user input. So we're saying, we want you to print in the console name to number function based on user input rock. Okay, so we're calling this function and the name assigned to this value. Okay, just keep playing this video over and over and over. If you didn't get that, you'll get it. It takes a minute. Anyway, yeah, that's about all I have to share for today. Tomorrow I will be posting another video based on the second helper function we are going to be creating, which is number to name, and that converts a number into in the range of 0 to 4 to its corresponding name as a string. Okay, so that's it for now, and I will see you tomorrow.